Hello.
Hey, Chief, got any pie? Bring me some pie.
The place slightly resembles an insane asylum.
Well, all you need to start an asylum is an empty room and the right kind of people.
It's the kitchen sink.
Prepare to be astonished.
Kitchen sink.
Everything.
The kitchen sink.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, hello, hello. It's the kitchen sink.
What's up? Hi, guys.
I am excited. Did you know our Irish... Well, should we intro ourselves? I'm the doctor.
I am Gear.
I'm bad.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Happy my dad's birthday. He's so Irish that he was born on this day, and his name is Patrick, so there's that. Right?
Really?
Yeah, I know. It's weird, right?
It gets no more Irish than that. I mean, you have to, put a cabbage on your head to get more Irish than that. So what's the traditional meal today? Cabbage and...
Corned beef and cabbage.
Corned beef and
I
cabbage.
prefer Irish soda bread, personally. That's my jams, which is a kind of not really rising bread. You don't use yeast, but you put a bunch of raisins in it. And I don't like raisins at all.
Okay.
But when you put them in this bread, there's something magical about this bread. And it's so freaking good. You know what? I'm going to have to make it today.
Raisins
it's gonna have to happen.
in unleavened bread.
It's really good.
delicious.
It's a sweet bread.
Yeah.
So it's just bomb. And it's a traditional Irish thing that my family has always done because I'm mixed blood indigenous with Irish. My dad's Irish and my mom's native. So
He's extremely Irish.
he is. He speaks Gaelic and shit. Like Dia Gutchermagin. That means good afternoon.
Oh, that Gaelic is good.
Gaelic is rad. I want to learn Gaelic so bad.
Now, is it like a Irish pidgin where it's like a mix mash and
No.
shortened words, or is it a totally
it's just
other,
a totally different
or
language.
it's an older?
It's so old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes back to like old English,
Huh.
like back to the weird when they had
Back
like
in the
all
days.
the extra letters. Why we have OUGH and shit in things. Like, why is that? Because Old English and Gaelic and Gaelic and all the other weird languages.
Right, like old school hip hop, the way they used to rap.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm right on board with you. So happy Irish Day to the Irish folks out there that are out there having a pint of Guinness. And that was the worst. That was probably the worst impression.
No, that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good.
So Redman's not Irish at all?
No, I don't think so.
Cool.
I believe he is Latino.
It's just he's so lucky, and that's why I think that. I would think that. Because he's
Red's
just so
Latino?
lucky.
I think Red's Latino.
For real.
For real.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
No, the further you go in Mexico, south, blonde hair, blue eyes, it gets lighter and lighter and beautiful. A mix and mash of beautiful people all over the world.
I love people all over the world.
We're now talking about Mexico on St. Patty's Day.
Why not?
Why wouldn't we?
I am actually typing right now. Sorry, guys.
So we hope you like the new time. Saturdays at 2, but rebroadcast on Facebook on Thursday nights.
Yeah,
at 8.
and
We actually did it this week.
we did, and we actually are going to do it at 9, I think, because we are
Okay.
messing around with times because we are just starting this podcast,
Right.
and we used to do a radio show, Doc, Bad, and myself, on an AM station here in town for, about 2 years?
It seemed like so many more years.
Yeah,
than
it was about 2 years, maybe 2.5.
Yeah, it was like 2 years. It was on a way different
times.
station. They were so patient with us.
They were, and they were very conservative, and we were very radical. So it was cool, because we were the dissenting voice, if you will, and in a good way.
Right.
We always brought love. We were talking a lot about the homeless situation we have here in this area. California itself has a huge homeless population, and I would like to bring up something that Tom Morello, the great prophet, Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine and Prophets of Rage, always had on his guitar, Arm the Homeless. Have you guys heard about this?
I remember some stickers. I don't remember that one. I love that, though.
But here's the problem. There is a push to actually arm
actually.
the homeless. So, we're doing the good guy with a gun thing way too much here. Instead of, maybe giving them a place to live, people want to give them shotguns.
Right.
I'm not kidding. This is actually fucking happening in this stupid country.
Well, that was like that trolling thing that was out there where they said that Democrats or liberals wanted to put red porch lights on to show that they were a safe home with no guns inside. And it's like, it's a total troll. But of course, you know, everybody on the other side was like, they're so dumb. The criminals will know. It's a joke. You were trolled. Nobody wants red porch lights to indicate anything about the... Yeah, I know what you're thinking.
Hey, man.
Sean, like, we did go to the red light district. We had a set to play. We did a show. We didn't stop at any of the street front offerings. But that is the original red light district, right? But yeah, people get trolled so easily by that.
By a lot of stuff.
Speaking of trolls, sorry, I'm busy killing trolls. This is what I do on Twitter all day is I kill the bot.
Just swatting them down.
I do, because, you know, you look at these people and they have like 11 followers and no picture and whatnot.
Right.
So what you do is you go and report the sons of bitches because they're obviously bots. And people are like, why do you waste your time on this? And I'm like, I'm not wasting my time. I'm reporting these fuckers, you know? And then about an hour from now, Twitter will say, thanks, we've received your report and we shut this son of a bitch down because they were tweeting spam. And everybody can do that. And the more of us that do that on Twitter, and I know, Doc, you're not on Twitter, but the more of us that do that on Twitter, the better off Twitter's going to be.
You're putting them on blast.
Mm-hmm. I'm so over that shit. Totally. Oh, hey, I want to give a shout out to Anon Femme Fatal. They're going to be on the air tomorrow on the Anon UK network at 8 a.m. our time. Pacific time. So you can find them on Spreaker, and it's a really good show. It's op female sec. It's very interesting. So listen to the girls, the ladies, the women, the power. They're going to be on again tomorrow, 8 a.m. on the Anon UK network on Spreaker. You can find the Anon UK Radio on Twitter at Anon UK Radio. So there's that.
It's not Anunnaki Radio.
No, it's not. But this is a really powerful show. I was honored to be a guest on it a couple weeks ago, and it was really, really well done. So I encourage everybody to listen. And if you can't listen, all of those shows on the Spreaker network, on the Anon UK network, they archive immediately after the show, so you can listen to that.
I love that.
Please listen to the ladies, because they are powerful women, and they are very smart.
What do you think they did with our archives from the radio station?
We took a couple of them, but they deleted them, unfortunately. Yeah. They're gone, because I think they did that with all of the shows that are no longer on the air, unfortunately. So we have a couple archives from...
Yeah, I got a few somewhere buried.
Yeah, from...
We have them silenced.
Bad, I hate to tell you that our traditional listeners had to pop out to do some stuff, so we won't be able to find out your question.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. So, anyway, I wanted to talk about...
You know, you don't have to tell him the truth.
I do.
You could just lie to him.
I don't lie to my husband.
Do a Trump to Canada thing.
Speaking of Trump lies, I wanted to tell you something I just wrote down. Let me see. Trump has lied 2,200 times, according to the mainstream media.
Oh, jeez.
In his presidential term.
That's many times
bad,
a day,
that's
man.
Bad. That means he's put like 200 more lies in like 2 weeks. 2.5, 3 weeks.
I wanted to highlight the fact that Jeff Sessions stated that he did not recall 29 times in his session with Congress.
I don't recall.
I do not recall.
I do not recall.
I do not recall. Now,
I will tell you.
You can ask me that question, but I'm going to tell you that I do not recall.
I have served the public service and serviced many people over many years of racistness by me. I don't recall it, though.
My name is Jeffrey Beauregard Sessions III.
I guess I should work out that impression before I just start doing it. It got a little Huell Hauser.
Nah,
there was a little bit.
He is a little bit, though.
Well, hello. This is Huell Hauser. I'm here with Dear and Bad, part of California's Gold.
Rest in peace, Huell.
I love that guy. One mic, a lot of one takes, covering it all, moving people into position in the camera without offending. That guy had talent, for real. Yeah. And those things are still available on VHS.
VHS,
Yeah.
all right.
They're probably on YouTube, though, right? Huell will live forever. Part of
California's Gold.
PBS has got him somewhere.
Got
I'm
it.
sure.
Got it.
Archive.
Yeah, archives are
Unless
the
they
shit.
delete him when the show goes off the
Right.
fucking air. Come on.
Try to silence the voice.
Speaking of silencing voices.
Ah,
James.
hey.
Oh, sorry about that. Speaking of silencing voices, Andrew McCabe, the deputy FBI director, was fired 26 hours before his retirement, meaning that he is now denied his pension, and he served the country for 25 years or more. And I think that, you know what, I hate most of what's going on in the government, and I dislike most of the people who work in the government, and I have my own personal reasons as an indigenous person to not enjoy what the American government does or how it's structured. But that being said, and by the way, I only speak for myself as an indigenous person, not for anyone else. That being said, that's bullshit to fire somebody 26 hours before retirement just to deny them their pension.
Yeah.
Well, he might be able to appeal that to
I hope so.
simply just go straight to unemployment and be like, 26 hours, there's got to be some kind of a... I mean, jeez. I don't know much about his background, but he played the game they love to play for however many years.
Oh,
I mean, and
man.
it's so obvious that that's they're doing that as a gotcha tactic.
Yeah.
I mean, we are going to screw you and your children's future financially and take away your financial stability into your old age. You know, but Trump will lie to Canada, so of course he'll have that guy fired 26 hours before he gets his pension and his gold watch.
Why did he do that?
Well, Trump
I
wanted
mean-
his gold watch. Trump
Yeah,
saw a gold.
yeah.
There's a gold watch going over the Oval Office desk. He's like, oh, well, who's that going to?
Yeah.
He can't have that. I want that gold watch. I'll put my name on it. But he did call the New York Times, Trump did, to say that he called it in a panicked voice to say, White House is not in chaos. And you know,
Has like dishes breaking in
Right.
the background and shit.
when you get a call
we're
to
fine.
say,
We're fine.
right, it's like the police getting a call. There's no domestic violence here. I don't know if anybody
Shut
called.
up,
I don't know if anybody called 911 or anything, but there's nothing going on here. Everybody's happy.
Everybody's cool.
Please don't drive by. But yeah, it's thou doth protesteth too much. So he called the failing New York Times and let
To
them
tell him that everything was
that
cool.
everything is not in chaos.
Oh my God, he's so insane. So here's the other interesting thing about Andrew McCabe, the former deputy FBI director. He has written some memos, aka James Comey.
That's right.
He wrote these memos about his interactions with Donald Trump and has now turned them over to Special Prosecutor Robert Mueller. So that should be interesting to see. And Senor Mueller has subpoenaed the Trump Corporation for all documents regarding the Russia investigation. So shit's getting real, yo. Whoa. And no, we're not in chaos or anything.
Right.
We're fine. The rest of the world is laughing at us. And I'm reading this book, and it's total junk food. It's called Russian Roulette. It's by Michael Isikoff and somebody else. And it is... These guys are fucking balls deep in Russians, dude. Like, I am not kidding. Every single one of them. Carter Page
it's a little
started
weird.
a Merrill Lynch chapter or office in Moscow. Okay, he was one of the presidents. He was with Manafort. Manafort has worked for the Ukrainian president and Putin and owes Oleg Deripaska like millions of dollars
Right.
because he stiffed this guy. And Oleg Deripaska is a Russian oligarch who is now suing Manafort for millions of dollars.
Oh, God.
It's insane. Like, the more I read about these guys, the more and more Russians, and I'm like, my God, they might as well speak Russian. This thing is really focused on the Miss Universe pageant in Moscow in 2013, I
Yeah.
believe. And it starts in like the early 2000s with all the Russian interactions. So the president has been trying really hard to become Vladimir Putin's best friend and to build a Trump Tower in Moscow.
Well, you remember about a year before the election, there's a quote that we can call up if we needed to, Donald Trump Jr. saying, we don't need money from anywhere ever again. We have so much money coming from Moscow. And he says it. We can call it up. I mean, and it's true. That's what they were busy doing since he got the Miss America pageant.
Universe.
Universe. He's been doing that, and he sees those guys as heroes.
Oh yeah, he thinks that Putin is like a really excellent leader.
Right.
He went on Morning Joe Coffee with Joe and Mika before he started hating on Joe and Mika, and he said that Putin was a great leader, and America killed tons of people too, because Joe and Mika brought up the fact that Putin kills journalists who are opposing him,
right.
and he kills all these opposition leaders. And Trump was like, "Well, what's the big fucking deal? We do that too." And it's like, "Whoa, hey, what the dude, bro? Right. What?" You know?
Yeah. Last week he did suggest that if he is getting low poll numbers on your favorite TV station, his suggestion was to change the channel. It wasn't. Hey, you give me a list of those things. I'm going to address them. I'm going to look into it. He's like, you got your clicker? Change the channel. If they tell you something negative about me and you're starting to question, then get your clicker out. Get yourself over to Fox News. Fox News.
Fox News.
Known for foxing news.
Fox News.
Fox News.
Yeah, but the Trump Temp Agency, better known as the current White House, it's got problems.
No, everything's fine.
Trump Jr. is getting divorced.
What?
Yeah.
I have not heard it. Please enlighten me.
I hope this is true.
Man,
don't fuck with me,
CNN.
Doc. Don't fuck with my heart like this, man.
CNN. If they lied to me, we have our crack team looking into that.
Yeah,
Dun,
totally.
dun. Oh, New York Times. Failing New York Times.
Failing, for
Fake
sure.
news CNN.
Fake news CNN. You know what?
Failing New York Times.
Could we-
Flailing Donald
Could we
Trump.
please stop saying fake news? I fucking hate that term. It's so stupid. It makes us look like a bunch of morons.
Well, to me, that's SNL. That's
right.
That's SNL. I think of SNL, man. Fake news is the little, weekend
Weekend
update.
Update, yeah, dude.
That's fake news. Yeah, let's stop talking about
But
fake
it's not.
news.
It's real shit presented funnily.
Right.
Comedically.
Funnily.
Comedically.
Yes.
I would like to,
we got the Farcical USA Today.
The Farcical USA Today. I would like to point out that Bad's been up for like 37 hours. So
Yeah, it's been a while, man. 8 a.m. yesterday, I'm going to say. I
Holy
took like a
Jesus
half an hour
Christ.
nap.
Yeah, sorry.
He conducts himself way better than me because
I know, right?
yeah, I get punchy.
I just can't think.
I just say
I get
shit
weepy.
that would be funny if I figured it all out and worked it out. But I just say the first part, and then people are like, "Wow, he's changed. He's really changed."
Oh, here's
So
why.
now he's
apparently.
tired.
Oh, tell me why DJT is getting divorced.
He sent some suggestive Twitter messages to
Dickhead.
a model while married.
What a douche! Following in Daddy Boy's footsteps, isn't it?
Oh, you guys, there's 6 other people.
I know, right? We need to address that. We'll get to that in a second.
Oh, the storm is a brewing.
The Stormy is a brewing.
Well, come on, modus operandi, right? You know,
Uh-huh.
if you're 67, how old is he now? 70?
71.
You're 71.
I think.
And you've gotten away with it this long.
Why would you stop?
Why?
And you know what I want to say is I can't think of anything more disgusting than that man, number 45, without clothing. Or in any, like, weird... I can't... And the other thing I want to say is...
Oof.
In this book, it was revealed that he and some Russian friends and a bunch of weirdos went to a club in Las Vegas that was shut down by the Nevada board for being too lewd. Motherfucker, you're too fucking weird and kinky for fucking Vegas? Are you kidding me, bro? Like, have you been to Vegas? Do you know about Nevada? Everything is legal in Nevada, except, weed. Or no, wait, it's legal now. But yeah, I mean, Nevada is... crazy sauce. I grew up there.
Right.
I know about it. And if it's too lewd for Nevada, then it's some fucked up shit. I just wanted to say that.
Well, right. He had to take it to Russia
Well, yeah, and that's what happened is...
And the desperation of those people that would perform for him, you know, it's sad. He's twisted, and it's sad.
I feel bad for the women, you know. And,
Who gets turned on by... To hell with anybody who gets turned on by someone else losing their dignity.
Right.
Really?
Oh,
That's sex to you? That's making love to you? That's a fun time to you? I don't think so.
What happened to kindness and respect, you know?
You know what? I kind of sounded like a prude right there.
They went out with Trump. Get with it.
But then we also have the Me Too movement, and that, I believe, is a part of that is because of this president. I believe that because we are pissed.
And
As
it's
a woman,
about fucking time. I'm sorry. I mean,
as a woman, I am angry that this president got elected after all the horrible rhetoric and all of the accusations. 19 women accused him of assault and misconduct. There was both. And you know what? Somebody said last night that in regards to the Stormy Daniels case, because she allegedly has been threatened physically,
Right.
and one of the lawyers said, this isn't just groping, this is assault. Motherfucker, groping is assault.
Assault, yeah.
We need to fix that mentality in our society.
Don't
if you
fucking
touch
touch
a
me.
woman
Right.
inappropriately, or if you touch anybody
Don't fucking
inappropriately,
touch me.
Right.
that's assault.
Right.
You can't spit on someone.
Right.
That's assault.
Yeah.
But groping is all right? No. Groping is assault. I'm angry about this. I'm sorry. I yell a lot. It's what I do. So, here's the deal with Stormy. Let's get to Stormy Daniels because the storm has been brewing. This has been under the radar. I've been watching the story for a long time, but the mainstream media just now picked up on this. And my issue with it is not the fact that he had a consensual extramarital affair. People do that. I don't give a shit about that.
Right after his kid was born.
Yeah, it's douchey, but that's who he is.
Yeah.
We know that from Howard Stern
Right.
and from all of his, the roast of Donald Trump, things like that.
Way to demoralize the woman who just gave you a child.
Yeah, it's really nice. But it's not illegal, and it doesn't discount him from being the president.
Right.
What I have an issue with is 10, 11 days before the election, they paid Stormy off and made her sign the NDA.
Yeah.
That is what I have an issue with because I believe that is a campaign violation, and I believe that to be illegal.
Oh, right. Well, so there's 16 accusers, and a total 19 and a total of 6 possibly that he paid off. So what's that total number? 24. So what he needs to do is pay off the rest of them. And that's what the problem is. He hasn't paid off the rest of them. No, it's that he's an immoral idiot who brags about lying to Canada
What the fuck
about a
was that
trade
about?
deficit.
What the fuck?
And then he goes to his financiers and has a secret meeting, but I heard the audio. I didn't know what I was talking about. I just said, yeah, we had a deficit. I said, don't smile at me, man. We don't have a deficit, Mr. Trump. Oh, yes, we do. Because we're really stupid and they're really smart. He said that sentence. It's like, how are you financially backing this guy and supporting this guy
And they
when
clapped.
he tells you he's stupid?
They clapped for him. So going back to Stormy, she has alleged, her lawyer is amazing, by the way. His name is Michael Avenatti, and he is just
That guy's fucking awesome.
The news anchors don't know what to do with him because they have had Kellyanne Conway and Stephen Miller and all these psychotic people on who refuse to answer questions correctly.
Yeah.
And when Michael Avenatti just says, who I think it was Ari Melbourne who was interviewing him, and he said, or whoever asked, was she physically threatened? And he just said yes. And they kind of Anderson Cooper and all of these guys were like, what? And they don't know how to react to it because he's just really straightforward.
He's done. There's hi, I'm tired. There's no follow up.
Right.
I mean, there's no. It's like you get a roll going and it's like chunk.
Right.
Nope, done. That's what I like about this guy. He doesn't
awesome.
bullshit. He just fucking is straightforward and no bullshit, and he doesn't give a fuck, and he's on a mission. And I think
And he's
It's a
wishing
righteous one.
upon a star. Snoop Doggy Dogg with the caviar. Okay.
Shit.
Anyway, he has alleged that 6 more women have come forward with similar allegations, 2 of which have an NDA. He's also alleged that Stormy was physically threatened by someone on the Trump team or in the Trump circle to keep quiet. And that is a new level of bullshit, right? I mean, that's mafioso shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you pay to play, man. Pay.
And she's willing to pay back that $130,000. You know, here's your chump change, bitch.
I think she's willing to fucking cough up $1 million for just talking about it.
She
Oh
has-
no, she wants to give back the
Yeah.
money so that she can make more.
Well, no, I
She
know that,
has-
but it's like if the NDA thing holds,
Right.
then it's what $1 million each time she talks
Yeah.
about it. So I don't think she gives a fuck.
No, she has 6 or 7 people who are willing to pay the fine for her to speak publicly. And on March 25th, she's going to be on 60 Minutes.
Is it gonna air?
It's going to air on March 25th. She's going to be on 60 Minutes. And if she has to pay the $1 million, I think she's ready to do that.
Yeah.
Because this is, you know, what Michael Avenatti is, his basis for all this is the First Amendment. This is a private citizen who's being denied her right to speak.
Right.
And the opposition to that is that she took the $130,000 and therefore it's a closed deal because of that. But David Dennison, aka Donald Trump, did not sign the NDA.
Right.
And
Right.
there were certain spots in that contract that needed him to sign it.
Right.
And under California law, where the deal is, by the way, under California law,
Go California. What
There's-
was our new slogan?
oh,
Whatever makes your state great, we have one better.
yeah, whatever makes your state good, we have one somewhere that's a whole lot better.
Anyway, sorry for that curveball, maybe.
We just made everybody hate California a
I
little bit
know.
more.
You
I
know what? Fine,
How's winter
stay out.
going?
You can stay out, but we still love you, and we're gonna come and do a show.
Oh, come here. Come hang out.
I forgot what I was talking about. I know I was talking about Michael Avenatti, but I don't know where
California laws.
I was. Oh, California law
Yeah.
states that pretty much that I believe what he was saying is California law is saying that he had to sign this thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and
he
some
didn't,
folks said
so.
that Trump's lawyer violated the Non-Disclosure Act when he was talking about it
Yes.
in interviews. It's just like
And
So-
he did it first, right?
Yes.
once it's out there.
Once you start talking about it, it's over, dude.
Yeah.
Like if with an NDA, if the other party starts talking about it, then you have the right to
Right.
reply
It's
to
wide
that.
open. It's interesting that even exists.
Yeah,
An
no
agreement
shit.
where you can no longer say something that happened to your body.
Or just say something. Period.
Right. You
That's,
can
that's
no
the
longer.
First Amendment,
you
man.
can no longer vent about it. You can't go talk to a. Because you're gonna need
You
a
can't
therapist.
laugh about it.
If
I
you
mean-
had a date with Trump, you need a therapist.
Dude.
You need someone to
I
talk to.
spanked him with a magazine
With
he
his-
was
His
on.
face
Well,
and
his
his
daughter was
daughter's
on it.
face on it.
Oh.
Remember, he said it. If she was older, I'd marry her.
Oh, it's so disgusting. He's so
You
Oh.
remind me
gross.
of my daughter.
And this is the president of the United States of America.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. Oh my God, I got ill just. for a
Wow, how
second
did that
there.
happen?
So what's Melania doing right now?
Life.
She is
She
very
has
quiet.
Do you guys think she's had the meeting? They took her aside and said, in the interest of national, we know you want to
Yeah.
file. We know you want to file for divorce
Yeah.
right now. We know you want to leave this building as fast as possible.
Yeah.
But in the interest of national security, a bunch of lying old white men are standing around her telling her, you got to stay with him at least until this is over. And for America.
You could
Or
be
we'll take your...
deported.
Yes!
I
Or we'll
mean-
deport you in shame.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God. Use your imagination because that's what they're doing.
Oh, man.
Poor Melania. Poor Stormy, man. She can't even conduct business.
No, but she's getting a lot of good gigs apparently.
Oh,
So
I
there's that.
gotta tell you, I do not hate Stormy Daniels.
Oh
at
my
all.
God! Follow her on Twitter. She's amazing. She somebody called her a skank and she corrected their spelling.
Actually,
I love it. I love her. She's fucking hilarious.
Where did they go wrong?
Somebody called her a cunt, and she was like, "That's Miss Cunt to you." I love it. She just like it rolls right off.
That
her.
word in chief.
Yeah, you can say it.
The C word in chief.
We used to be on a British network, so the word cunt is not like a big deal for us anymore, because that's a love term. Also, cow is a loving term. Oh, you poor old cow.
Oh, good.
You know,
That's nice.
Oh yeah, well we used to in California used to be able to
happy cows.
she's my friend, but that was one crazy heifer. Like you used to be able to call her, but you had to say it just right. Because if you said you heifer, well you lost your nose. Your nose just got flattened. I know. Was I holding that in the wrong? I was kind of holding it kind of in a weird place. So. Just give the audience a visual. Put that back on.
Oh, man,
I stood up and
wants
just
cameras on us.
Well, it's weird. I stood up and they just dropped right down to my ankles. But
Hey, that's what happens, man.
the belt just does not work.
Does that still go?
I got to give you a freshie.
Oh,
So Trump Jr. is getting. That wasn't right.
divorced.
Trump
They were
Sr.
married for 12 years.
probably has Melania hostage.
What do you mean probably?
There's no
Has had
right?
for a while.
And she's not. They could tell her anything, and she has to believe.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Well,
I still want to upset nobody's. But yeah, we covered a lot of it.
Oh yeah, there's so much more that's going on.
But what do you think about? Let me just ask you this, as another parent, parent to parent, the idea that the kids, instead of, all these old people our age wanted to tell the kids how to deal with their angst when it came to the school shootings and the violence. And then the kids decided to walk out, and that's how they were going to deal with it, and they were going to talk out, and they were going to say their feelings. And all these people our age wanted to define how they felt and how they dealt with their pain. And that's never the right thing to do. Not your best friend, not your 15th best friend, not a stranger. You don't tell them how to deal with their feelings. And this walk up and not out push, to walk up to the kid. And
yeah.
What were you saying about that? You said your daughter did that. She befriended.
My daughter is amazing. This is the thing. I think that parents need to be incredibly responsible for their children, and that's one thing that I think Americans forget, because we send our kids to school and go, hey, okay, teach them morals, teach them everything, be cool, and that's not how shit should go down. I taught my kids morals. I taught my kids manners. I taught my kids that even though somebody might look differently or act differently, we're all the same underneath. And my daughter is drop dead gorgeous. She's tall and thin and beautiful. She was a fucking model in LA. She was signed to a talent agency for modeling and acting for 2 years. So, gorgeous girl. She knew that there was the weird kid at school, didn't have a date for homecoming, and she was like the Duchess or the Queen or something of homecoming. And she took him to homecoming. Even though she had a boyfriend, her boyfriend understood what was going on.
He was woke.
He's woke. He's a great kid. They're still together.
Our kids
by
are
the way.
hella woke, bro.
Our kids are hella woke,
bro.
Hella woke, bro.
So my daughter and all of our kids, my daughters, his sons, they all know that kids that aren't quite popular or whatever, they also need to have the same experiences that everybody else does. So my daughter took this kid to homecoming, and she danced with him all night, and he had a great time. It's those tiny little things that help these kids who have a hard time in school get through it. That makes a big difference,
She kind of normalized the whole high school experience for him.
Yeah.
She wrapped up
She was the
the
most
high school experience for that
prettiest girl
kid
at school. It's a small
with some
school.
normalizing of it. That was a good gift.
She's a beautiful girl, and inside and out. So we need to teach our kids to do things like that. And I didn't know anything about it until after, right?
Right.
Like, I didn't know it happened until after. She has pictures of her with this little guy. He's totally cute. Big bottle glasses like Bubbles from the Trailer Park Boys, like we were talking about earlier. Totally sweet kid, But no one wants to talk to him because he's a bit different.
Right.
And you know what? I was that kid in school, and I think that put an impression on my kids
Right.
to not, even though they were both, because I was chubby and I was weird and I wore like black lipstick and Slayer shirts, and that was totally weird in 1989, you know?
Right.
Like, girls didn't do that. Everybody was wearing pink and had blonde hair. So I was completely shunned and ostracized from all of the cliques, and I spent a lot of time alone, which is cool because I like being by myself. But I shared all that with my kids, and so they knew like how hard it was to be that person.
Right.
You know, I never wanted to shoot up a school though. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, no.
You know, and here's the other thing that I've been talking about with some of my friends. My ex-husband has mental illness, bad, right? No matter how much I loved him, no matter how much I cared for him, no matter how much I was there for him, he still has a mental illness, right? Like,
Right.
I can't cure that. Even though I can support him, I can be there for him, I can do everything. But after 10 years, with no movement on that, no
Right.
help, no acceptance, none of that, I couldn't be that codependent person anymore.
Right.
So you can love somebody with a mental illness and you can be there for them, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to snap.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that is another issue. We need mental health services in our country. That was the first thing that was cut in our county, and now we have a fucking heroin epidemic. And a homeless. We have like 8,000 homeless people in a 60-mile radius. That's insanity. There's only 80,000 people in the town.
Right. And it's
Look at the
rampant.
percentage of that. That's like, what, 10%? Jesus Christ.
And they wonder why there's rampant crime overnight. And that everybody's yard and cars get gone through every single night.
It's insane. It's totally insane. So we can't tell these kids what to do with their pain. I love that that's what you said there.
Right.
But we can also support them. I plan on definitely going to the March for Our Lives. I'm going to that. I'm going to make signs. I'm going to take my kids. And we're all going to go and support these kids. And that's what we need to be doing right now, is supporting these kids. They're the ones that had to deal with that tragedy. I
can't-
have never been in a place where people were shot dead. Not ever. Have you?
Nah.
Maybe?
Maybe once. But
I have
not,
been-
not as young as those kids and not in that
Listen.
situation. No way.
I walked into a store one time, bought something, walked out, and the person that I brushed by went in and killed everybody in the store.
Right.
So I have had brushes with it. That was the Shotgun Stalker in DC. You can look that shit up. That was
Right.
crazy, man. And I actually, after that happened, I wasn't even in the situation. I couldn't leave my apartment for a week and a half. I was so afraid. Because he had the same car as me, so I realized who it was,
Oh, shit.
and I was scared out of my mind, And I didn't even stay there for the massacre. I wasn't there. But the massacre happened, and it affected me so badly. I can't imagine what these kids are going through. You know what I mean? I cannot imagine. It's unbelievable.
Well, and people online are saying that there's no way these 17-year-old kids came up with this idea on their own. It's like,
What?
how many 17-year-olds do you know? They're usually smarter than you.
Right, I know.
They're usually more together than you. And then there was a rep. It was either not Texas or Utah, running for representative, who called one of the kids,
Crisis actor?
a lesbian,
Like
a skinhead lesbian.
skinhead lesbian.
And it's like, who the
And
hell are you
he's
to
running
talk to kids that way?
unopposed, by the way. So
He dropped out.
Did he?
Yep.
Oh, thank God.
He dropped out. But who the hell are you? Come around me talking to people's kids that way.
Yeah, no shit.
I know. You know what I mean? Because I would try to thwart that. Who?
Hard.
And then you're running for an office? Just say you disagree.
Yeah.
Just say you disagree, bro.
Yeah, you don't gotta.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Shit.
You let me come up with a label for
That's
this
just
child.
me. Don't be a dick.
Who's taking time to come up?
Sorry.
Twice.
I was trying to see that.
No, that was just my mind wrapping it around itself, trying to figure out who insults kids and tries to, as an adult, tries to come up with labels for kids. Leave them alone. Back off.
Yeah. I just think that we should support the kids and leave Emma alone. Emma Gonzalez has been through enough. David Hogg has been through enough, and those two are the ones who've been like really singled out. So March for Our Lives is next Saturday. It's a week from now. There are marches for our lives in every town. And I think everybody should go. I think everybody should show up. You know, I think you should show up and support the students if you believe in this. And I think that what they're asking for is exactly what most people I know are asking for. They're not asking for a moratorium on guns. They're asking for background checks. They're asking for raising the age on buying assault weapons. They're asking for a ban on assault weapons, which, by the way, I believe Reagan had a ban on assault weapons, and it worked.
Right.
You know, like, it works. Look at Australia. Look at England. Those two places had mass shootings, and they outlawed guns. And guess what happened? There aren't any more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know people get killed in Britain with cars and knives and things like that. But we have an epidemic. This is out of control. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I'm out here just sitting on the porch and I hear you know, I'm like, what? Why are you doing this?
Well, I know you went to school and your best friend had his rifle in the back window of his truck. I understand that, and I've seen it myself.
Right.
But the mental illness is up, and assault rifles are different. That's all. That's
Yeah,
it.
they are.
That's all you have to know.
Yeah.
And the mental illness is from the food, and it's from, you know, the poison in our environment. It's not video games.
No.
It's not our mixtape.
Don't fucking come after our video games.
Don't.
Yeah,
Or a
really, that's
mixtape.
so stupid.
Because we will defend it.
So I just think that it's all just really stupid. I mean, where is common sense? The Republican Party is owned by Russia. Here's something that I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about the NRA. Because the NRA is insane, okay? And here's something that you may not know about the NRA. There's a Russian called Alexander Torshin, and there's another Russian called Butina. Both of them are members of the NRA. Now, you answer this question for me. This is the National Rifle Association,
Right.
not the fucking International Rifle Association. Why are Russian nationals allowed to be members of the National Rifle Association? I am angry about this.
Money.
I wonder if Kalishnikov's, his entire family's got to be lifetime members, right? AK.
AK.
He made the AK.
Having
How
fun
long
with
have
that.
they been members? I wonder.
A while. Now, these two show up at all kinds of conservative events, like CPAC, which is a big deal for conservatives. It just happened. The president spoke. And at CPAC, when Donald Trump was running for president, this woman, Butina, was in the crowd, and Donald singled her out, and she got to ask a question. And her question was this. She questioned Trump about the sanctions. She asked if he was going to continue to impose sanctions on Russia and continue to hurt the relations between the two countries. Trump had a very well-developed 5-minute response to this woman who he randomly,
Super
quote-unquote,
random.
singled out in the crowd. So even his own campaign questioned the validity of this not too long ago. So I think that is a huge red flag. So there's that. He picked her very randomly. Alexander Torshin is under Spanish investigation for Russian money laundering.
Oh, nice.
And he is an NRA member. He hosted, he got a toast from the NRA where they hosted him for a big national prayer breakfast or something. He's been to all kinds of conservative events, as well as Butina. And these two were going to be set up by someone named Erickson to be the back channel to the Kremlin. Erickson sent them an email. I think it was to Manafort. I'm not sure who the email was to. That the title of the email was Kremlin Connection. I mean,
Jesus.
come on, guys. Can we be stupider? It's insanity. It's just, what the hell?
And so they're what? Are they making donations to the NRA then?
Yes. What the thing is the reason I brought all this up is because the Russians are funneling money through the NRA. There's about, I believe, allegedly $50 million that they have funneled through the NRA, and the Trump campaign was a recipient of somewhere around $30 million in this last election cycle from the NRA. So, what the fuck? How can Russian nationals be members of an American gun association?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Okay. Kremlin Connection, that's what it was called. He was proposing to connect Torshin and Butina to the campaign. And he thought that this was a great idea. He would get Trump to go over to Russia and meet with Putin, and that would solidify his foreign policy and make him a, true to form candidate, so Clinton couldn't undermine his validity with foreign policy.
Oh, fuck. That's right.
What the hell? And that's being reported in the news right now. That's, the dominating is that Mueller subpoenaed the Trump Corporation. Andrew McCabe got fired. He got fired today, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, that just happened. Are you kidding me? I mean, really, that's really crappy to deny somebody their pension after 25 years of working somewhere. I don't care where you work. That's shit. That makes me mad.
Well, that violates the heart of the contract.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to work with you that long. Part of the reason I'm doing it isn't just my monthly paychecks. It's that.
Right. Like, I hope that
It's
he
the
can,
retirement.
Trump's good at breaking contracts, too.
Well, and
Yeah, he is.
he's good at overstepping, screwing up, and losing in court.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of Trump, his lawyer, John Dowd, has been tweeting today. He tweeted that he prays the Russian investigation will be closed soon.
What?
Like, are you serious, bro? Like, what the hell are you talking about? Mueller is not done.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Every night.
It's like Bad also hopes to get a nap soon. It makes sense.
And, I've got Widow's in the chat. Hi, Widow. It's great to see you. And she said you're going to have to convince people to stop buying guns. And, I think the kids really just want some common sense. And I think most Americans want common sense. I'm fine with guns. I like to shoot things. I really do. I don't kill things. I kill TVs and bottles and shit.
Right.
And they're fun. Guns are fun. I enjoy playing with them. But I don't think that a disturbed 17-year-old or 18-year-old boy should be able to have, an arsenal of military weapons. It's just kind of overkill. And I think that's where we're at. Americans are so consumer-driven and that kind of stuff. It's like you have to collect more and more and more and more of whatever you're doing. Like, if you're into this, you have to have all the stuff. And I just don't understand that as an indigenous person. It's silly to me.
Well, it's a little too late if you think that you're collecting your guns to defend yourself against the onslaught of marauders, government, when they take over and they take all our rights. They're just gonna do an electromagnetic pulse. You're not gonna be able to talk to anybody, and then they're gonna come choke you out. It's not gonna be a gunfight.
I just don't think. Really, you're not gonna win.
You have to vote and
American
change the
government.
world before it happens. You can't just wait till it happens and shoot back.
Before we end the show, I really want to talk about what you were saying about this Green Party candidate. What's his name? Do you know?
I didn't. The covert Republicans running as Green Party candidates.
What?
Yeah. Covertly running.
A Green Party candidate in Montana was on the state's Republican Party payroll and now leads an anti-property tax group. Timothy Adams, the treasurer of Montana's Against Higher Taxes, filed his campaign papers Monday to challenge the Democratic Senator John Tester in November.
As a Green Party candidate.
Yeah, he was once a state GOP paid operative.
But he's still on their payroll.
Jesus Christ.
Right? You can't do that. I feel like that is not being honest with people.
Cool.
But that's how subversive they are. Hey, you're a Republican. Are you just going to run and really bring the smart and the change and do your best job? Hell no, I'm not. I'm going to tell them I'm a Green Party candidate. What does that mean? Well, whatever it means. Whatever it means to whoever it means.
It's insane.
I'm glad we're not that flaky as people.
This is dumb. Like, really? But
I mean,
here's the
shallow
thing.
and hollow at the same time.
I was telling you that I only have a couple friends. Oh, I have like 600 friends, almost 700 friends on Facebook, and I need to cull some of that because that's too many. And 2 of my friends are running for office as Green Party candidates, and that's crazy. Like, I don't have that many friends. And I've got 2 people who are running for office. Daniel Clark in Indiana or Iowa, and this other guy who just started. I'm gonna try to find
Brandon or something.
Yeah, Brandon. Do you know him?
No, I don't.
But you saw that
I
post.
saw you post to him, and I was like, nice. I love it when people who we talk with take it to the next level.
Brendan Phillips for Tule
run.
County Commission here in California, I believe.
Oh, it is in California?
No, Utah.
Utah.
Utah, sorry. Tule.
Stansbury
Weird.
Park, Utah.
Yeah, he looks like a really nice guy. He's an adorable little family.
Well, but I don't know. Look there, and that we're looking at his page here, and we're seeing his 3-year-old son is sticking his tongue out at the camera. So I don't want
What
to
kind of
read in.
parenting is that?
I don't want to read into that, okay? Because I can't read. But the point is, it seems like a subversive behavior. He's gonna do great things there. And I bet he wins.
I hope he wins. Yeah, I really do, because we need more. We mean, like, I really think we need more. Like, the UK has all these dissenting voices, right? They have different parties. They have Labour, they have Tory, they have Green, they have the Lib Dems, they have all this stuff. And I think we need more of that, more voices in Congress to contest, like, some of this corporate bullshit that's going on, which keeps happening because we only have the same representatives over and over and over and over and over and over.
Right. Well, instead of waiting for the old grays to die, for things to change, we have to start inserting new blood in there.
Yeah, we do.
And and by the way, it'll frustrate some of the old gray hairs, and they'll retire before they just fall over dead.
I certainly
Ruth
hope
Bader
so.
Ginsburg.
Jesus, no, she needs to be saved because she's one of the, voices on the Supreme Court
She
that's
hasn't-
not completely conservative and bought, but she may be bought by other.
Well, they vote
Other-
when she's asleep and sign her name.
Because she's 1,000. Look at Nancy Pelosi. My God, she's a skeleton.
Ugh.
And she's running again. So that's neat, She's not giving her seat up, and I hope that someone contests her because she needs to go. All of these people have gotten too comfortable,
Yeah.
and they've gotten too set in their ways, and they've forgotten that, like Marco Rubio was talking about how people buy into his agenda. It shouldn't be his agenda.
Oh, exactly.
It should be his, constituents' thoughts that he brings into Congress. That's how it's supposed to work, but it's not working like that anymore.
Right.
I don't know if it ever did.
They should be helping him build his platform and his cause, his constituents.
The thing is, they stole this model from the civilized tribes, from the Iroquois Confederacy, which we had every voice being heard. When we had a big major thing to deal with, we got the entire tribe together. Men, women, babies, grandmas, grandpas, everyone.
Right.
And everyone would talk it out. And the chief would sit back and not say a word until everyone was done talking. And it might take a week. It
Right.
might take a month. But the chief would sit and listen. And once they were done, and he took in everyone's thoughts,
Right.
and he weighed what everyone said, and the consensus was there, he ruled on the consensus and said, this is what you have told me.
Right.
Not this is what I think.
This is not what I came here thinking 3 days ago and
Wait.
held it this whole time, and now I'm putting it on you.
And we need to find
Yeah.
a way to instill that in our quote-unquote leaders.
Yeah.
That open-minded, just in taking in everything
Right.
from their constituents, listening to the emails, the calls, the town halls, the tweets, everything, and then regurgitating that on the floor of Congress. Not saying, I believe XYZ, and that's why blah, 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 blah. That is not what a democratic society is about. And we are a kakistocracy right now, which means we are being run by fucking morons. That's literally it's like the most kakistocracy. It's a great word. And it's true. That is what's happening in America. We have a kakistocracy.
Cuckastock.
Crapistocracy?
Cuckistocracy.
It's a cockastock. Caca.
So, I don't know where this ends. I don't know if this country is over. I don't know if we need to stock
Right.
up on food. I know I'm going to start growing. Did you get any growing tips, Doc?
Not yet. I haven't got any growing tips, but I'm about to go big. This next week, I'm putting in like a ton of dirt.
Right on.
And not even an exaggeration. You know I'm bad
ton.
with numbers. But yeah, no, I'm filling a huge area.
Right
And I
on.
will be fighting to save my vegetables from the squirrels all spring. But yes,
There's
growing
some
some
stuff
food.
you can put that's not lethal around that are like pellets. I'll show you what for the squirrels and for the moles and rabbits and deer and whatever that they it stinks so they go away.
Right.
You know.
Well, a lot of my friends are showing me just different things that are blowing the wind, so they think something's alive. But it makes everything just look like trash, right? Like these little spinning things.
Yeah.
and all
Oh,
this,
yeah.
like,
That helps to keep the crows
yeah,
away.
put a can, hang a can with a string. It's like it's trash.
If you put just reflective
Right.
string, like the ribbon that's reflective,
Right.
if you tie that on your corn stalks, the crows won't come and eat your corn because they like don't like the flashy stuff. They think
Right.
it's something moving, the predator, maybe.
Right.
So that's something you can do. Oh, I love to grow stuff. I have got my baby basils. I've got to replant those today. I'm excited about that. I'm going to look through my seeds. My daughter wants to grow carrots. I'm going to grow corn, beans, and squash because those are the three sisters. That's what we taught the settlers when they came over, how to grow corn, beans, and squash together. It's a good companion planting. I would like to try...
Well, but thank God they invited you to the Thanksgiving meal.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't do that anymore.
That opportunity to go and get wisdom from the thieves and the settlers.
Yeah. That's great. I would like to try hay bale growing. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
So what you do is you get a hay bale and you grow the plant on top of the hay bale.
Right.
And it helps with soil and water and all this stuff. It's you can use less.
Right.
So it grows on top of the hay bale, and it's also easier to weed. So you don't have to keep weeding and stuff because I hate weeding. So I want to try that. My mom tried it a couple years ago and it didn't work. But I think
It's interesting.
you got to figure out like the mix of stuff. I don't know if you grow just in the hay bale or if you put dirt in there or what that, I have to look into that.
That's kind of genius. I like that.
Oh, Widow, you're right. Absolutely. She's saying that guns are not going away. It's unrealistic to think they'll vanish and everyone will fall in line. Absolutely. And I don't think that the kids are asking for that either. And I think that it's getting, there's a lot of hyperbole out there. The rhetoric is getting kind of insane. They're making the kids seem more, like
Well, let's not act like
radicalized.
the police didn't deal with this kid 20 plus times. They knew this kid shouldn't
Yeah.
have guns. They could have gone in his house, in his room, in his dwelling, in his domicile, and eliminated that stuff. They do it all the time to people who have shown themselves to have no ability to control themselves. They've removed the weapons. It's a very simple. The police dropped the ball.
Here's
It's a mental
something-
illness thing. You
Yeah.
keep the guns, just don't give assault rifles to people with any mental problem.
when my stepdad is a ex-lieutenant commander in the Navy. He was a high up, official in the Navy. Has a couple of guns. And my mom and the next door neighbor got into a tiff over her dogs. She wasn't taking care of her dogs, the next door neighbor, and the dogs were barking all the time, and my mom was asking her to take care of her dogs. And she has a mental illness, and she went down to the courthouse and said that they were threatening her. So she got a restraining order against my stepdad, who is the nicest guy in the world. Like, when her husband died, the neighbor's husband died, my stepdad offered to help her take care of her lawn.
Right.
He went over there and mowed her yard and did all this stuff, And she brought up the fact that he had mowed her grass and said that he just did it without asking, and he was just really aggressive and mean. So they took his guns. Okay? They took his guns because he had a restraining order. So I'm confused as to why this kid didn't get his guns taken. Maybe the cops didn't know he had guns. Yeah. Maybe they didn't do a researching thing. Oh, Widow, you're right. Common sense doesn't make our world go around, but I wish we had a little bit of common sense. And I think that's really what the kids are asking for, is just background checks, a little bit of common sense, and I don't know why we can't do that. It just seems like when I was a teacher, I had to get a background check. I had to get a fucking FBI background check to make sure I wasn't a pedophile or an abuser or had some sort of record. I had to have a clean driving record. I had to have an FBI and a sheriff background check to make sure I was okay to take care of people's children. And of course I am. I'm fine.
She's totally cool.
So,
almost too cool to be on this show.
That in itself just makes me wonder why, if that's just me watching your kids, why, if you are responsible for a deadly weapon, you don't have that same vetting process.
Yeah. Right. It's just common sense.
It is easy to blame the guns. Widow just said it's simply easy to blame the guns. It is easy to blame the guns. And earlier we were talking about the mental health aspect of it. What I would like to highlight is this is not a black and white issue. And I think a lot of Americans are dealing with it like it's a black and white issue. It's not just guns are bad. We take the guns away, they're going to all... Whatever. It's so many layers of gray. There's so many things going on here. There's so many levels of stuff. There's like the pressure of being that weird kid at school. There's the pressure of American society. There's the access to guns. There's the violent society we live in. If you look around and look at how we glorify violence every day, and I'm not talking about video games. I think video games are great. They are violent sometimes. Yeah. They aren't always violent. I play video games that aren't violent, and video games actually have been shown to prevent Alzheimer's disease. So if you keep your brain active, it helps to, keep that away. I don't know. I just think that we have so many different facets of this that no one is looking at. We're all just kind of raw and reacting to it because it's so terrifyingly bad that 17 people, including young kids, got murdered.
Right.
Because no worries, Widow. We are so glad to have you with us. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We just wanted to kind of remind people that it's not this black and white issue. It's very gray.
And we certainly don't want responsible gun owners to give up their guns.
No, I don't.
That isn't our position.
One of the hosts of this show has guns and
we won't tell you which
responsible with those guns, has a CCW and is responsible with those guns. So
somebody in this room right here.
I'm sorry, I'm reading some of the comments. Sheena says, sometimes I think the NRA and our fucked up government officials want us all to have guns. Maybe they want us to go ape shit with guns so they can come in and say we're out of control and can't be trusted with this responsibility. That way they can justify taking our guns away. It's a conspiracy theory. I have zero evidence. It's just a thought. It's a good thought, though.
Right.
I mean,
a lot of people hold that. They probably know in the government they have that plan enacted while they have another plan, working against it. But yeah, that is a lot of people's fear.
You know what?
That
Widow brings
they're just getting us into position where we have no weapons.
Widow brings another good point, and I think this is actually a good idea. She says if you're going to up the age limit on guns to 21, then you should consider not allowing young adults to go into the military until they're 21.
Totally.
And I agree, because I think 18 is too young.
Right, because the government just wants to tell you who you can use an assault weapon on and in what country you can do it. Yeah, I see that. We want them to kill, but only who we say.
Right. So, I don't know. I mean, it's just such a myriad of things that go into this issue that we have to consider. And I don't think that our leaders, quote unquote leaders, are like savvy enough to deal with this right now. I think they're all just kind of so in this one rut.
Well, they're in the business of the problem not being fixed.
Yeah.
They all keep jobs if we don't fix the problem.
Our government is out of control.
You know, they're in the business of bureaucracy and status quo. Get that paycheck.
Absolutely.
Don't fix anything, because then it might lower the lower the need for us.
The other thing is their spouses, the Congress people and the senators and whatnot, their spouses get these sweet ass contracts. Like Nancy Pelosi, her husband gets some sweet contracts. My dad was telling me all about it, and I don't have the stats right here, but
let's get in politics. We're in the wrong business.
we are in the wrong business, because they're making money hand over fist, not just from the lobbyists, but from contracts that they award their spouses, their relatives, their friends. It's all nepotism, all of it. So you can't just bitch at Trump for bringing in Jervanka.
Right.
You have to bitch at Pelosi and the other people who are doing the exact same thing. We are running out of time.
The fact that they're shameless and enough to do that is why they should be fired.
Right, and you bring that to their attention, and they're like, oh, guns, or Trump's got a porn star, it's a presidential. My favorite quote from like this whole entire week is Weekend Update. Colin Jost said, in this week's presidential porn recap.
Yeah.
Dear God.
Oh, man. This week at the Trump Temp Agency, there's new feature job openings.
So who else got fired? Rex Tillerson got fired, which I'm not sad to see that oil-ridden son of a bitch go.
What was he? Didn't he used to be the eagle on the Muppet Show?
Yeah.
You know, the blue stoic eagle. I thought that was his first job. That was early on. That was in the 70s, and then.
Yeah, and then he became the CEO of ExxonMobil. Right. And he was doing some sweet deals with.
Trumpy?
Russia,
right.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you.
Telling you, balls deep. Every single one of them. Carter Page, Papadopoulos, fucking Rex Tillerson, Trump himself, Don Jr., all of them. There's more and more Russians. Everywhere I look, more and more and more. And I'm like, God damn it, I'm going to have to learn how to speak Russian.
I got to find out what balls deep means. That's an interesting phrase. You've used it twice. Because I know I'm wrong, but I think the visual that I get when you say it is completely inappropriate. And so then that tells me that that's not what you mean. Obviously, you mean something else.
There's so many Russians.
They're balls deep, baby.
There's so many Russians. Who else? Goddamn.
Man.
Oh, George Nader. He's an interesting dude. He got intercepted by the FBI at Dulles, got popped and fucking turned. So, Mueller is flipping so many people. He's got to have, like, tons of stuff on this guy. And I want to remind people, this investigation did not start with the Steele dossier. It did not start with the Steele dossier. It most likely started with Papadopoulos and his blabbing to the Australian
PM? Who is he talking to?
What is it? Diplomat?
Ambassador?
Thank you. The Australian ambassador at a wine bar.
Oh, my God.
He got too drunk at a wine bar and was blabbing that he had dirt on Hillary Clinton from the Russians to the Australian ambassador. And the ambassador was like, I think I should tell somebody about this. And he did. And that's what started the whole investigation.
God, what a Trump-like action. To be just at a wine bar, just spilling.
At a wine bar.
Just spilling all of
Jesus
it.
Christ. So he was.
Now that we've had 2 Pinot Grigios,
Yeah.
I feel
Let me
comfortable
tell you
telling.
about Hillary Clinton, baby. He was actually courted by a beautiful Russian woman that he was told was Papadopoulos was told was Putin's niece, who turned out to be nobody. They have
Right.
no idea who this chick is. Yeah, what? You dumbass.
The fact that she was a beautiful prostitute wasn't enough. Let's just go ahead and say she's Putin's niece.
Yeah, she's a fucking
He's gonna
KGB
think he's
agent.
gonna get married into the Putin family by
my
the end
God,
of
oh my God, oh my God.
this night of love. God, he had like a 5 head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The forehead was there, but it was just went beyond it.
Papadopoulos.
Which means large forehead.
Papadopoulos.
in Greek.
Interesting cat. I like his wife. She's rad. She comes on the mainstream media and, is like, hey, we didn't do anything wrong, Listen, this is what happened. And she's just straight up like Michael Avenatti. I love it.
Right.
So,
Like to not end up in jail.
the flaming beast of justice is coming down hard on the dick tornado.
That is balls deep in Russia.
Exactly.
The dick tornado is balls deep in Russia.
I'm reading shit on my wall. Dick Tornado is one, and that's amazing. Flaming Beast of Justice is another. It's also amazing. These are band names,
Right.
everyone.
But if you see in any font anywhere the word Dick Tornado, and it's not like an action film star, yeah, you have to say it out loud.
Dick Tornado. All right, we're like 11 minutes over our time slot because we like to talk, and we miss Doc. It's good to see you.
Good to
man.
see you kids.
Fuck yes.
We'll have Red Man back next
We
week.
will. He's frolicking
One of
around
these
the
days.
UK. I have no idea where he is.
He's learning his Cockney.
He's talking proper English now.
make the time for us today.
I'm sure he's gonna come back with an accent. Maybe he'll say matter.
Right. And happy 4-leaf clover day to
Yeah,
each and every one
indeed.
of you.
By the way, if you want to laugh, listen to a Scottish person say murder. It's the best thing ever.
It has like 5 syllables.
It's like 20 syllables. Murder.
Awesome.
Oh, we have Scottish friends.
Awesome.
Now we have to get a hold of them and ask them to say it.
We will replay this on Thursday again. It's kind of dorky, but it's what we do. We're trying to make sure everybody can hear us because we love you all.
That's right. And interact with us.
Yes.
Get a hold of us.
Where are you at?
I'm at Doc Luton's on Facebook right now, but
DOCLOOTENS.
Doc Luton's Facebook.
And we are at Kitchen Sink AM on
Yes.
Facebook. Please like our page. We're also the Kitchen Sink on YouTube. It's harder to find, but you can go to the Kitchen Sink on Facebook and find the YouTube page there. It's much easier to do that. So please like us and share us because we'd love to get a little more reach. We are just starting up. Yeah, we've been bouncing around with time slots. So
And we're already going to have some giveaways. And
yeah, we are.
I'm already talking to a friend about some sponsorship. So
Ooh,
let's
I
do
love it.
this. I'm getting some gas money.
Yeah. All right, we love you all. Take care. Happy St. Patty's Day. Please get an Uber if you're drinking tonight. I don't drink, but I worry about you. Call me. I'll drive you home.
That's right.
Seriously, I don't want you guys in trouble. The cops are going to be out hardcore today, so just be careful out there.
I won't pick you up, but I will talk to you all night until the morning when you sober up.
Yeah, well, I'll call you an Uber or a cab or something, for reals. Love you guys. Take care. Thank you for listening. Widow, Sheena, you guys are rad. Much love.
We love you.
Kitchen Sink out, yo!
Bye.
Peace!
The Kitchen Sink. With gear.
There was just kittens and fucking puppies and rainbows and bunnies. Bad.
How can you edit out a Pegasus?
Red.
I like unicorns.
And Doc.
Loose cannon! What have you got yourself into, man?
Everything.
And the Kitchen Sink.
Just sitting around freaking hanging out.
It's kind of like the Newsweek.
There's not much going on
It
in the
was
news.
just the news was just kind of hanging out.
I've thought that the president being investigated by the FBI was kind of normal. That's happened before, hasn't it?
It has.
That's happened before,
That makes
right?
it normal. Yeah, that happened before.
The Kitchen Sink.
Thursdays at 8 p.m.